Hello, this is Matt on the Moon Lambo channel. It's become very obvious to me that there are a ton of new people in the world of crypto, and I think that some of the people that even entered the world of crypto years ago and have just been kind of dormant, they're coming back. There's clearly a lot of market activity occurring, and it's definitely having, overall, I would say, a positive impact within the XRP ecosystem. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, to be fair, over the last 24 hours or so, I understand XRP price is down a little bit. I'm going to cover price in a separate video, not going to dive into it here. I'll cite the price just for the heck of it since I got it pulled up here. XRP is at 27.6 cents as I record this. Okay, fine, so down a little bit over the last, 24 hours, 3.77%. Not exactly earth-shattering news here, but there are other metrics worth tracking that I want to highlight, because if you consider what's been happening over the last several weeks, it starts to get very interesting. So take a look at this headline from crypto media outlet U Today. XRP's daily active addresses on the rise despite rally hitting pause button. Exactly, so the rally, fine, got it, pause button tapped. But there's a lot going on here. And one of the things that is always neat to me, and this is frequently true, is lots of volume, which is another metric. Lots of volume typically precedes notable bull or bear action. Now, I think most people tend to agree that this is more of a bull market that we're in right now. So it doesn't mean, like, I'm not pretending to know where the price action of XRP is going here, but we haven't seen this much activity probably since the highs in terms for Bitcoin and XRP, so late 2017, early 2018. I don't think we've seen this kind of volume since then. And just wait till I show you the number of XRP account activations in total. It's just staggering, especially over the last several weeks. I'm paying attention to this because whatever you want to say about price action over the short term, it's not the only thing that's worth watching here. But before we go any further here, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, if you would please ever so delicately tap the like button, I would definitely appreciate the support. And also, go ahead and subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel if you love your mama, because she loves you and she wants you to be happy. And if you subscribe to the Moon Lambo channel, you will find true happiness. All right, here's a tweet from XRP community member Martin Valk that I liked, so I thought I'd just share it with you. And here's a quote. "When the roots are deep, there is no need to fear the wind." Now, I didn't know where the heck that came from, so I just plugged it into the Webernets, and it turns out it's an African proverb, which is not attributed to any specific individual, but I kind of like that. I would say Ripple's taking root. And then he writes, Ripple has its roots everywhere. XRP hasn't even joined the game yet. Now, technically, XRP's in the game because it's used via on-demand liquidity, so today it is functionally being used as a bridge currency, but I think I get what he means. I think he's making the point that XRP has barely been adopted, and this is one of the things that's so freaking neat about it. You think about how XRP in late 2017 was around 20-something cents, and then jumped all the way up to almost $4 without it being used. That was pure speculation. What do you think's going to happen if, like, long term, as XRP continues to be adopted? Might that instill confidence for institutional investors and new retail investors? Even if there are going to be future major retracements in the years to come after huge parabolic run-ups, which I would also expect, what do you think that ultimately might do? And I want to be clear, I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not offering financial advice, so don't buy or sell because of me, but I am willing to share my opinions. And I think that crypto is here to stay. It's not going away. XRP is functionally useful. And if you could go from 20-something cents all the way up to almost $4 based purely on speculation, because mind you, at that point, on-demand liquidity, which was then known as XRapid before Ripple rebranded it, it was only in beta. It wasn't even in production. So, like, there were a few companies kind of testing it out. There was almost no liquidity. And I know it's early days, so you could argue now there's not that much liquidity, fine, but back then it was like functionally zero, right? It was, I don't remember the numbers off the top of my head, but it was effectively nothing. That is interesting to me. And then he cites here, Martin Valk writes, Brad Garlinghouse meets with Trump officials. I had a video on that the other day. The partnerships, new products, to name but a few, the future is bright. Well, I definitely share the sentiment. Shout out to XRP Crypto Wolf, who sent me this piece from U Today, again, titled, XRP's daily active addresses on the rise despite rally hitting pause button. This is cool stuff because I'm going to run through this and I'm going to show you the total XRP account activations in the history of the ledger, because let me tell you right now, it has been ramping up as of late. It's worth being aware of this. Despite retracements in charts, what do you think it means when you've got an insane number of new people jumping on board? What do you think this means? Well, look, again, we haven't seen this type of volume in a few years since the last major rally, but to me, it's worth being aware of. Now, XRP, the third largest cryptocurrency by market capitalization, has seen an uptick in daily active addresses, DAA for short, in spite of its rally hitting the pause button. According to cryptocurrency analytics platform Sentiment, XRP is only one of the few altcoins that are currently displaying such a bullish divergence. Interesting, right? Now, the number of XRP's daily active addresses recently climbed to a 7-day high of 9,499 on August 24th, despite the coin retracing 9.2% over the past week. Now, 9,499, it might not sound to, you tell me how it strikes you, it might not sound like a lot, but I want you to consider something. The vast majority of XRP holders on the planet at any given moment are holding their XRP. It is not being traded, so you would expect the vast majority of accounts to not be active. Still, so that's why if that number seems small to you, that would be the primary driver as to why. Even so, it is clearly the case here that there's an increase, which is why you have this article here. And that is something that I think is noticeable. And you can see here, let's check out the 24-hour volume. I didn't look at this before recording. 24-hour volume, 434.1 million. That's actually, okay. So before the rally, to me, I'm pulling from memory, but I think that would have been closer in line with a normal day. But when the rally was occurring, it's like over 1 billion almost always. Given that there's a retracement, I guess that's not terribly surprising here. I was just kind of curious, so I thought I'd check it while we're sitting here talking. Just having a little chat amongst us girls here. But XRP registered the highest number of DAA, again, that's daily active addresses, 70,944 since its creation on February 13th. For comparison, the cryptocurrency had only 50,583 active wallets when it hit its lifetime peak of $3.11 on December 28th, 2017. Interesting, right? Now, this ended up being an anomaly rather than a persistent trend, given that it dropped precipitously the following day. Well, you're always going to have outliers, especially when you're talking about highly volatile, brand new asset class with barely any liquidity, right? So not terribly surprising from my perspective here. Now take a look at this though. So this is the rich list, XRP rich list. You can go to ledger.exposed if you want to check this out. Yes, and I do literally mean that, in case that's confusing. You type in .exposed instead of .com or .net or .org. It's ledger.exposed, and it will take you here. And as far as XRP account activations, I made a video, man, I can't remember exactly when it was off the top of my head. It's probably, I want to say it was within the last several weeks or so. Could be slightly off, might have been less, maybe, I remember, but probably like right around there. When there was news that XRP had its 2 millionth account activation. So again, let's just call it roughly several weeks. You'll get the point of what I'm saying here, even without knowing the exact time frame. It is around there. There are now 2,087,150 accounts, XRP accounts. Now, granted, some of these are going to be some holders that have more, like for instance, I have more than one XRP account, and if you're listening, maybe you do as well. So you could think that means there's fewer people than 2 million involved, but I don't even know if that's true, because there are also shared accounts on cryptocurrency exchanges. Like, for instance, I remember when I used Binance and I was buying XRP on there. I'm talking about the one, not Binance.us, but this is like years ago before Binance.us existed. On the original Binance side, I was using it, which you can't do in the United States anymore. And I was moving my XRP off of the exchange, and you know that there's a 20 XRP reserve, so I thought I wouldn't be able to remove it all, but I was able to remove all of it. And I was like, I wonder why the hell that is. And at the time, I didn't know. But the reason is your address on an exchange like Binance, it's actually a shared wallet address. And so that requires you to put in your destination tag. Otherwise, it just goes to the wallet, and there's no indication that it's yours, and you can potentially lose your XRP if you're not aware of this here. So there could be a ton, like a crazy number of people that have these accounts. If there's a way to track number of destination tags, that would actually be a good indicator. I'm not aware of anybody having tracked that, but if there is a way to do it, that would be telling. So anyway, the reason I'm bringing that up is there's no good way that I'm aware of to know how many people are actually in XRP. But it's safe to say, in all likelihood, in the millions here, right? And so think about what's happened over the last several weeks, going from 2 million to almost 2.1 million. Look, the XRP ledger has been active for, almost 8 years at this point. And you're talking about a substantial percent, almost like a 5% increase or whatever it is. If I did quick math in my head, if Moon Lambo did bad numbers, Moon Lambo, sorry. Okay, but it might be around there. But think about it, around almost 8 years, and then in the time span of roughly a month, almost 100. Like, the month's not even done here. We still got more time in August to see what happens for August, but man, if it's up about 100,000, that's a ton of new people coming in. And some of these undoubtedly would be institutional investors. I would suspect there's more humans than institutions, so probably most of this would be retail speculators. But the bulk of the money, the real money, I think is really going to come from institutional investors, other than the occasional whale here or there. So look at this dramatic growth. So I don't care about these pullbacks. What do you think? So some of these people, since they're humans, and humans will do what humans do, which means they're going to FOMO in, they're going to panic sell. There are going to be a ton of these people that are going to stick around. You can think about, like, I'm an anecdotal example. This is perfect, and I'm sure there are people listening that are in the same boat or close to a similar story, where I came in late 2017. I've still never sold in the XRP. I rode it all the way up, all the way back down, took emotion out of it, and I'm just going to sit here and let humans do what they do, because I don't know where the market's going. I'm not pretending to, but I still firmly believe that as XRP gains global traction, is actually adopted, it's likely going to be worth substantially more than it is today. That's the bet I'm willing to make, and if I'm wrong, fine. But I don't think I am. I am Mr. XRP Bull. So we shall see there. But that is some serious, major growth here, right? Don't you think? I mean, this is worth being aware of here, because it's not just the immediate price action. I think that so many people looked at just the service level stuff with no earthly understanding of even market cycles and other metrics that it's worth tracking. Like, even for a person like me that doesn't want to really learn how to read charts, because I just could not legitimately be less interested in it. I love to research fundamentals. But just being aware of things like this, it's worth knowing. Because, if anything, for your sanity, because it's so, and I sympathize. When you don't have enough knowledge, it's much more likely that you're going to react in terms of whether you want to buy or sell. You're going to react emotionally. And to me, when making decisions in life, especially really important decisions, especially if it has to do with money that you've put in and invested in something, it's best to take emotion out of it and just let logic do the talking, right? That's the way that I look at it anyway. But this is tremendous growth here. So whether you're talking about daily active addresses or total XRP account activations since the ledger's inception almost 8 years ago, looking pretty good from Moon Lambo's perspective. So tell me what you think below, but I couldn't be more optimistic. I'm just sharing with you what I think, but I'd love to get discussions on this stuff going, so I would love to hear from you in the comments. I am not a financial advisor. Do not buy or sell anything because of anything that I say or write. That would be a very, very, very bad idea. Until next time, to the Moon Lambo.